And yes, so I I don't I don't worry about those sorts of things as much. But I'm in this routine that's a very systemized thing. I used to, jump up every time that the bus stopped to make sure no one was taking my suitcase out of its hold. But I don't bother doing that anymore. Once it's packed, there's nothing really of great value in my suitcase anyway. So if they take it, it's annoyance, but it's not the end of the world. And I just don't bother. Once I'm packed, I figure I've done everything that I can, and it's fine. A really big change over the past 2 years, especially the last year, is that I meditate. And I meditate a lot, at least daily. I'd started a little bit of meditation before leaving Australia. I really struggled with it, switching my brain off. And I did some during my first year of travel, but it's gone from being a thing I did now and again to now I just do it regularly. It's a really important part of my day, and it's given priority, and I think it's changed my world. And as part of that, or as well as that, I've taken an even stronger spiritual path. That whole spiritual side of me, my intuition, everything that happens around that has become a really big thing. It has been something that's been evolving, but this particular 12 months, it's been off the charts, my development in that way, and now I focus purposeful attention and developing that side of me. Um, as I mentioned before, bedtimes and exercise. In the first year, I tried to maintain the structure that I worked with in Australia while I was traveling. But in the second year, I kind of go, it just doesn't fit in here. I'm just going to have to adjust everything around. And I'm still trying to find exactly what works best for me. I won't say I've got that down pat, but I am starting to get better at dealing with that. I am much happier more of the time, not just a little bit. I was not an unhappy person before. I was optimistic. I think I had a good life. But it's just increased on every single level for me. And I get many more instances of this deeper, unadulterated joy at random times and places for no apparent good reason. I'm less stressed. My life feels much more natural and in flow. I'm far less driven, and it's been amazing. It's absolutely been amazing. I'm more connected, much more connected with people, and I love all the interactions that I have. I have even more faith in people and the goodness and kindness of people from the vast majority of people than ever before. The more I travel, even though I've had some uncomfortable experiences, the more I see how many good people by comparison there are, and those good people have shown up. And I was really jaded with people before I left Australia. I really thought the world was going to pot, and now I just recognise it's what we're told. People are amazing and wonderful, and ah, thank you to all the wonderful people that I've met. And those people that I meet and see that, I'm uncomfortable around, or there's been some experiences, it is a good reminder for me that, those things still happen, and not to get complacent, and to take a little bit of care. Um, the universe has increasingly given me signs as to what's the right path to take, how to take them, and then they've often given me signs that, yeah, you did right. This is right. This and then falls into place really easily. I see some things that made me go, oh, yeah, I get it. I did the right thing. This is where I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. And it's this validation and confirmation that I have done the right thing, and it reassures me. But this keeps intensifying off the charts. And events, even in the past few days, have just, things that just happen to bring this incredible intricacy of patterns of things and uh, jigsaw pieces that just fell into place with impeccable timing. And in a way that you just can't go, that's just a coincidence for me. It's breathtaking in its intensity, its speed, and it just puts it beyond the realm of coincidence or shrugging it off as random. And it's happening more and more, and I love to live my life following that path that gets set out for me. I certainly have a very big component in actioning those paths once they get presented to me, but the presentation of where I'm going seems to just fall into me, and also expressing gratitude for all the results of how that works out. And that's another really big thing. I'm so constantly grateful for everything. Um, even basic little things like comfortable pillows and nice beds, pretty flowers, the warm day, the rainy day, the people I meet, the animals, what I'm learning from the challenges that I face, just everything. And I acknowledge this gratitude all of the time in my mind, but also expressing it verbally and saying, thank you. Oh, I'm so glad that happened. I really appreciate it. And at least daily, but often lots of times every day. I certainly still have challenges in my life, but I now see them for what they are, which I always did to a degree, and that is that they're a learning experience. But often I used to look back and see it as a learning experience. Now I see it in the moment more, that it's all good, it's working out. And once again, I used to see it that way a little bit before as well, but now it's just much more. And I see it as a learning opportunity, a tug to move in a different direction. That, what am I missing here? What am I not noticing? Why is this happening? I still sometimes get frustrated. I get concerned in the moment sometimes. Uh, Very rarely do I get concerned about what the outcomes will be or the results later on. I kind of go, this is annoying me right now, but I know it's for some good. It's just still annoying me right now. Occasionally I get a little bit worried about or how am I going to deal with that, or forward thinking, but much, much less so. And it's more, I tend to bounce out of any negativity super, super fast. My concerns and stress happens less and less all the time, and it's barely a blip in my world. It's amazing. I'm developing a much stronger network of friends in all areas, particularly Spain and Portugal. But, it's awesome to think, oh, if I went to Germany, I could catch up with this person, or if I went to Italy, maybe I could pop in and see them. And in Spain and Portugal, these networks of people I've really, truly seen and formed. They're an important part of my life. I'm only a little bit of theirs, but they're an important part of mine, and I love that, and I love to feel that connection with places and people and things in that way. Um, and to give you a little bit of an idea of that connection, one of the things that I have noticed is that I barely see travel, how much travel I do, as a thing. It's only when I try to say it to someone of what happened and what is happening that I kind of go, God, I'm actually still doing a lot. I feel like I've slowed down. And to give you an idea, I just had reason to look at my times for what I've done since the 29th of April and what I will be doing out till the 29th of June. So 29th of April, I was in Portugal, and I will be back in Portugal, in a different part of Portugal, on the 29th of June. But what I realised today is this, and I just worked this out so I could share it with you, that I have slept in 14 different towns in that 2 month period, or will have by the time I get back. 14 different towns. 5 are pet sit homes, 4 homes of friends that I have travelled with, that I've met on my travels. I've stayed in a couple of hostels. I'll be sleeping in one airport while I wait for a bus, and a couple of B&Bs. I have visited Belém and Albufeira in Portugal, Triana, which is part of Sevilla in Spain, Estepona, Spain, Benalmádena, Spain, Granada, Spain, Pontivy in France, Lorient in France, Nantes in France. I have stayed in Sevilla in Spain, Calera de Valer, Valencia in Spain, Lisbon. I'll be going back to Lisbon in Portugal, and Burgao in the Algarve in Portugal. They're the places I've stayed. I've also visited and done day trips to the towns of Cordoba, Malaga in Spain, Baza, Rennes, I hope I'm pronouncing these places right, Rennes, and Vannes in France as well. And I may end up doing other day trips, but that's just so far. I have, so the first ones were places I'd slept, the last few were just places I'd visited. I've ignoring the local transport, getting around the little towns and doing things locally. Just in terms of inter-town, inter-city buses as I've moved, I've been on 16 different long-haul buses, had 4 private car trips getting from A to B, 1 quick taxi ride, 4 train trips, and 3 plane trips in that time. So that is just in 2 months. And I certainly felt that France was a time that was busy for me because I was doing a really touristy week in there, which was very tiring. But apart from that, it was just living, and I didn't recognise that I'd actually done that much this 2 months. So it's quite substantially different. So, what for the future? Well, what I've recognised in me is that this variety, fun, and challenge of my lifestyle is really, really important to me, and I love it. And the freedom and the feeling of travelling. And when I'm in one place too long, I start to get really itchy feet and feel quite on edge. So I don't see that in this short term I will be stopping for long periods anytime soon. I now feel I've gotten much more used to how I live, but I'm also feeling that I've got used to it. And so I now need another little adventure. I need to push the bounds a little bit further, to go to new and more exotic places or something with a bit more challenge and adventure, to try new things, to go on some trek or adventure specifically. I'm also looking for some sort of humanitarian, environmental, or some sort of adventuresome project that I can sink my teeth into somewhere or somehow. So I'm really looking to that. And of course, I've got the addition of a wonderful man in my life, so that in itself is leading to a whole different adventure in a different way. And I don't know where that will lead and what that will change things for me. So there certainly feels like there's a lot of changes afoot. I'm very excited about them. I really have no idea what they're going to be. And let's just see. I'm sure the universe is going to present to me a course of action that will just evolve. And I'm just so excited to have done these incredible 2 years, and the excitement of the prospect of what's coming for the next 2 years. And I would say the next 70. I've always had belief that I will live to 120. So when I say I bring on the next 70 years, hey, this is just, it's only just the start of my life. Bring on the next 70 years, and all the adventures that will bring. Thank you, that will bring. And thank you so much for being part of this journey with me. I've really loved being able to share some of my stuff with you, and and I hope to share much, much, much more. So stay with me. Come on some more adventures with me. Tell me about your adventures. Ask me, what the heck is this woman doing? And let's learn from each other. And please be part of my world for the next few years at least. Have a great day, guys. And don't forget to live more simply so that you can simply live an incredible life. Hey, you've only got this one life in this realm, in this planet, whatever your belief systems are. So please make the most of it and think a little bit more laterally. Have a beautiful, wonderful day. Thanks for being with me for the last 2 years. Bye.